All right, in this video we're going to do a Titan 2M. Starts off with that same basic size block. It's got some corners kind of cut off on it, and then the radiuses. The process that I'm going to use, rather than drawing this shape, I'm going to use some of my 3D modeling features to kind of do it a little bit quicker. So starting off with my sketch, as before on my plane, I'm going to just create that rectangle, right? And this is 5 inches by 1.95. So the other one was 4, and this one is 5. And then the 1.95 down to the bottom, right? So I'm going to finish my sketch and extrude that 0.75. These corners, right, I've got 0.25 over, 0.25 down. So this is a 45-degree cutoff on the corner. So in my modeling features here, so just a little bit, right, I'm going to use that chamfer, and this tells me kind of the size. So the chamfer distance is 0.25. We've got two distances that are the same. So I'm just going to click on the 4 corners and hit apply, and that's going to chop those corners. All right. Then I have, there we go. I'll slow down a little bit. I have 8 radiuses of 0.125 kind of pointing to here. So that's going to be each edge of that chamfer, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I fillet. 0.125 is the default, and that's what we're using. So I'm going to just click on each of these lines. I might need to rotate a little bit to get to some of these other ones here. And again, looking, make sure that I got all 8 of them. So there's 8. So that's the first step to set this one up. Okay, so we've got that. All right. Second step is going to be to locate the holes. So just as before, very similar with the holes. This one here is a 1/4-20 instead of the 10-32. We've got chamfer diameters here, so on and so forth. So I'm going to just go through and create these holes on that front surface. So we got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got a little bit of a relationship horizontally with each row, and then the top and the bottom ones are vertical. So I'm going to do that first. So horizontal, first row, second row, third row. Vertical constraints with the top and the bottom one on each side, and then those are kind of an outlier. So now we'll look at those measurements. Again, the measurements across the top are how far from this edge they are. The measurements going down the side are from the top edge here going down. So let's just zoom a little bit. .35. All right, so we're just putting all those in there. Okay, fully constrained. All my dimensions are in there. Finish the sketch. We'll go to the hole. So here we've got 1/4-20. So as before, we'll find that size. So 1/4 is 0.25. 1/4-20 is very a common size. So nothing to change there. Again, we're going down. We have a thread of 0.375 minimum. Change this like 0.5. Before, like, it was like 0.56 or whatever. And then we have our chamfer across the top. So we have a diameter of 0.275 across the top there. So we can see it does not go all the way through the bottom. Okay, so there's our holes. And then our last step is going to be to cut out these two channels and then add a bunch of radiuses to it and then chamfer around the top. Right, so create a sketch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my two rectangles, but I'm not going to connect it to the bottom just yet. That's so I can make them equal to each other. All right, they are the same size. So I could add, the dimensions, but I'm making them so that they're the same size as each other. Now to connect them, and this is something you can use if you draw something and it doesn't connect. You don't have to start over. You can use what's called the coincident constraint. So the coincident constraint will take a point or a line and put it on another point or line. So I'm going to click on that, and I'll click the corner of my first rectangle and the bottom edge. Then I'll click the corner of the second rectangle and the bottom edge, and that connects them to there. So now I'm just going to add those couple of dimensions. So this is 0.5. This is 1.5. And then this one over here is 3.5. And I saved myself from doing the last one, whatever. Finish your sketch. Extrude, we'll cut these two out. They go down 0.4. So now I have 8 radiuses, and it's kind of pointing to here. And then I have that chamfer across the top. So the 8 radiuses, we think about what it's pointing to. It's pointing to the edge of this surface here. I kind of look on this, and we can see these little double lines. So those are where I'm going to do it. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the other side, over here, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll do our fillet. 0.02. Really, really small. Again, it's just to make it so that the corners aren't like sharp. Right? I got 8. And then my chamfer, I'm going to do across the top. 0.01. Again, that's just knocking that edge over. And you can kind of just highlight the surfaces. So it's not on the bottom or anything like that. It's just across the top like this. And there is the Titan 2M.